Hello. I got a mic. Yay. Um, so I want to make a quick editor's note before I start the video. Um, so later in the video, I talk about um, a letter that I received in the same envelope as my letter. And I would like to, because I have a feeling they're not going to send it out again for some reason. But if you somehow magically stumble upon this video, if you are missing a letter, and you can message me on TikTok and Instagram. I'll list my handles, um, and verify your home address. I will personally mail it to you. Um, it was dated for July like 8th or 7th. So it's exactly a month ago. I don't know if those letters expire or not, but if you're missing one and you think it's yours, um, just shoot me a message on my other social medias, and once I'm able to verify your address, I'll mail it to you. I don't even know if I'm allowed to be doing this, but it wouldn't matter. I don't know. That should be Medi-cal's job, but because that's not my job, and I don't have the authority to do that. But I also know how disorganized things are. So if you feel like it is yours, yeah, just contact me, and I'll mail it to you once we verify your address, because your address is on the letter, which is why I had to blur cover it with a sticker, and that's how I'll be able to mail it to you. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Goodbye. Hello, it's me. Should I say back with a new video? I wanted to just hop on here because a lot happened this week, past month, past 2 months, just in general, and a lot of stuff is going on in the astrology. A lot of things are going through my head. Susanna is all better from surgery, and she's basically back to normal. Her appetite is back, her energy is back. She's so happy because she can run around the yard again, and probably could take her on a longer walk. I feel like I'm not speaking well because I've had to face like my own personal trauma to do the right thing, and it makes me nervous because it could easily be one of those things where it like backfires, and I feel like it's important to do the right thing. I have ADHD and I'm a little dyslexic, and when I'm nervous, I stutter and it sucks. I just feel like helpless when I'm in that state of mind because it brings me back to like being a little girl and not being able to use my voice. And I hate that I'm like almost 40 and I'm still dealing with these like crazy emotions. Like, I always thought when I was younger, I thought that as I get older, I would get over it, and like things would change and get better. But no. I've tried like going to therapy and taking medicine for it, but I feel like it hasn't done anything. But I also look at things like disability insurance, and I'm like, I need to start going to the therapist regularly for my disorders. So I should go to therapy consistently for that reason, even if I think it might be a waste of time. it will be an investment in the long run. And who knows, like maybe it will work out and stuff. Um, Even though when I had a therapist when I was younger, and I was mostly talking to myself because my therapist would fall asleep in the middle of the session, and I just so badly wanted the court order to be over, that I just didn't say anything. And when I say court order, I mean when I was younger, 12 years old, I was arrested because I was accused of creating a hit list for a school shooting, but it wasn't that at all. They made me delete my website, and if they let me keep the website up, you can clearly see that wasn't the case. That didn't happen at all. And I recently realized that the real reason why my website was shut down and I was retaliated against, it's because I made a poem about my sexual assault when I was a child. And the person who was most threatened by that poem got my in trouble. But he also was a savior too. He was the oppressor and made himself to look like the savior. And it wasn't until I got older that I realized what the happened. And during my adult phase, like after college and stuff, I was struggling with alcoholism. I tried reaching out to my immediate family for support, and they laughed at me and gave me bottles of wine. And so I knew I couldn't find peace with them, and so it didn't matter. I was better off on my own. And, I really was. I was able to stay away from the abuse my parents were inflicting on me, and I was able to escape like the drugs and the alcohol they were trying to feed me. And being in my position isn't easy. Like, it's really hard to navigate through life when you have chronic back pain like scoliosis and you have like a mother who blames you for it. And I know this is from a trauma that happened when I was a baby. It didn't just happen for my backpack. I know it was from like some sort of trauma. I have like faint memories that never went away. Like, I've always had them. And before I started smoking weed regularly, I would experience these nightmares, and they're very intense. They were straight up night terrors, and I still wake up in a cold sweat every once in a while, and I do experience sleep paralysis, and it's frightening. You literally feel like you can't move, and you feel like I felt like an electricity go through my whole body, as if someone was electro shocking me, which I know sounds crazy. And how would I know if I haven't experienced that before? But it's painful. It's painful to be in this body, and I've been able to like manage my pain okay, and I don't hesitate to like let my employer know like what my limits are, like if something is too heavy or if I overworked myself and I'm not as productive. Like, I do a good job of communicating that. But I noticed like the past year, especially as like a host, and given how poorly Hispanic, Latin people are treated like at the border, it seems like that type of racial hate is expressing itself, and I'm experiencing it firsthand. Like, for instance, I went and got my teeth cleaned. And I had to go all the way in San Francisco to Mission Street in the Excelsior neighborhood, even though there were a ton of dentist offices in Oakland. And I experienced like discrimination over my dental care, and I'm looking into finding a lawyer to see if they can help me with this case, because this whole experience has been problematic, especially if all I'm trying to do is just get my yearly cleaning done as promoted with Smile California. But these people, they don't care about people's teeth. They're racist. They called me Latin, and they keep insinuating that I am, which is fine. Like, my last name is Romero, like I have a Spanish last name, but you know, if they feel like they treat me like shit, because that's ultimately what they're trying to insinuate, that because I have a Hispanic last name, I don't deserve the same treatment or equal treatment as everybody else. They singled me out and they denied me treatment. So I'll go back to the very beginning. I was having a hard time scheduling an appointment for a teeth cleaning. So basic, like whatever. It had been like 8 years since the last time I got my teeth cleaned, so it was time. And I went on Smile California's website and went to their directory. I called about 5 offices. I also checked in person, like asking if they were accepting patients, and I always got, oh, we have a wait list. They basically were denying me. And it didn't make sense. Like, why put yourself on there if you don't even want to deal with people who have Medi-cal? I don't know if these dentist offices receive some sort of grant or benefit by listing themselves on there, but they are not treating Medi-cal dentist patients. After experiencing that, I called the hotline number and I told them I'm having a hard time. I called to make a complaint about this particular dentist office because they wanted to charge me for a teeth cleaning after I had told them I'm a Medi-cal member. They denied me an appointment unless I was willing to pay for it. I called the number about it. I told them I took a screenshot of the chat. This is what happened. They called the office. They said there was a wait list and they couldn't give me any details on it. They couldn't answer. They didn't have an answer if I asked if people are calling in to take themselves off the wait list. They didn't have an answer of how long the wait list is and how backed up it is. If I didn't have my experience as a restaurant host, I wouldn't have been able to navigate and with these receptionists, because in a way being a host is almost like being a receptionist at the dentist or doctor's office. You need to maintain the appointments and make sure there's enough staff on hand to handle the load, which is basically what a host does at a restaurant. And it's also why it's important to make a reservation before you show up at a restaurant, because there's a chance that you may not get a table because the restaurant wasn't expecting you, and if it's an extra busy night, you're not going to get a seat. But these have been acting like I denied them a table so long ago and they don't want to help me get my teeth cleaned. Of course, that's all in my head, but it's just crazy how that's happening. And so I told the lady about it. She tells me to make a written complaint to Medi-cal Dental. It felt like I was pulling teeth or dragging her to help me. Like, people out here are not helpful at all. Don't expect the bare minimum because you're not going to get it, especially if you're a petite brown woman with a Spanish last name, because apparently you're subhuman here and they feel like they can traffic you or deny you of your rights and treat you differently. So she told me to fill out the form and mail it. And I went over the Medi-cal dental packet that's on the Smile California website, and I noticed that to make a complaint, you have a choice of calling the number, which I did, and also sending an email. And there was also the address that I was supposed to mail my complaint to, along with like the evidence and stuff like that. So what I did instead was I sent an email that was on the pamphlet. They didn't send me an email back, but I did get a written response, and they suggested a dentist in Oakland that would service me, but I didn't want to move my appointment around because it was already difficult just to get it. And I didn't have a good feeling about it. I had a feeling they were giving me the runaround like they had been just with scheduling the appointment. So I kept my appointment, waited about a month before I went to the Excelsior district in San Francisco to get my teeth cleaned. I arrived a bit early, but I was like the last person to be seen. So I felt like I was mistreated or singled out. So they went ahead and did an x-ray, cleaned my teeth. The woman who cleaned my teeth told me to make an appointment for 2 fillings, and the next available appointment for the 2 fillings was a month from now. I had decided to stick with that dentist because they had just worked on my teeth, and I had every intention to come back for the fillings. It's getting closer to the day, which was about a week ago, and I didn't receive any phone call from the dentist office about confirming an appointment. And I noticed that they close like around 7 o'clock, and it was around 5 o'clock at this time. And so I called the office and I asked them, I told them I wanted to confirm my appointment for tomorrow. And I asked them if they're going to do a composite fillings for tomorrow. And they said, no, we only do silver. And I asked them why. It's just a little bit more, and it's better than the silver one. And then she said, oh, actually, I'm looking at your chart, and you don't need to come in for fillings. And I thought that was really weird because she's just a receptionist. She's not the dentist. And I was like, okay, well, why did the person who worked on my teeth tell me that I have to come in for 2 fillings then? And then she's like, oh, I don't know. So this receptionist was acting like a dentist and telling me not to come in. And when I asked about the composite fillings and told her it wasn't that much more than the silver ones, and I did my research, and I know that Medi-cal dental covers up to 1,800, because I feel like I have to explicitly say that because I've had people like look at me weird and gaslight me and tell me I'm saying it wrong. So Medi-cal dental covers 1,800 worth of services for the year. I know that I have enough to cover composite fillings, and so I didn't want to stay on the phone and like fight her on it because it was apparent that she didn't want to. She was discriminating against me. She also asked me, who cleaned my teeth? Was it the Latin one? And I was like, and it made me feel so uncomfortable because the person who cleaned my teeth was white, and she had an accent. She sounded like she was from Europe. It was just weird that she said that. Because she should know like who helped me or who cleaned my teeth because of my record. No. That made me feel intimidated. And even in the initial phone call, she sounded like really hostile and angry. She was so rude. But long story short, I ended the call with her, and then I made a complaint about her the next morning. I haven't heard anything back from that. And then today I got let me show you. I'm going to blur the personal information, but I want to show you what happened. So I got a letter from Medi-cal Dental, and they sent me 2 letters. The first letter is mine, basically saying that they investigated my case and said that the office accidentally put in a wrong phone number. They were ordered to update the number, and so the case is closed. And this is stupid because they ignored my screenshots, and this has nothing to do. I did not say any of this. The issue was in the chat. They told me they wanted to charge me for the cleaning when they shouldn't have done that. It's not about the phone number. So this was in the mail, and so was someone else's authorization procedure thing. I'm going to, but look at this shit. You see how they have a Spanish last name? Like, this is lateral violence. You're discriminating against me. And this person, if I had not called, I don't even know if they even fixed it, but I called them and I complained about receiving someone else's letter in my letter. And I told them this looks really important because it looks like they have some important procedures that need to be taken care of. Why the am I, like a random off the street, giving a about people more than this person, little miss? Like, this is up. You people are being racist little. This is not okay. People deserve to have fair treatment. They deserve access to health care. And yeah, my teeth isn't, but somebody else has more teeth than I do, and they need to get their procedures done. How the can they get their done if you're doing this kind of if you're committing lateral violence? Like, this is not okay. You know, I'm not in Latin. I'm Filipino and Hispanic. I know I look Latin, but I'm not. I can't even speak Spanish. That's how whitewashed I am. But that is not okay. And I'm this what should have taken me just a week to do and not think about anymore. This is going on for like 2 months. This is a waste of my time, you know? Of course, I'm going to be a good Samaritan and let you guys know, like, hey, this person needs to get their fixed because I apparently care about other people's teeth more than the people who work in this department who, like, what the and I'm unemployed. That's insane. You have, like, unethical heads with working these important jobs. She should be a restaurant host and I should be working her job because I apparently care more than she does, because this is carelessness, this is neglect, this is basic, this is not cool. I'm appalled by it. I really am. It's up. I'm not going to keep complaining to Medi-cal Dental because it's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is contact, I have it on my laptop, the Civil Rights Department. I forgot the name. There's a couple of places I can make complaints to, not just Medi-cal dental. Of course, Medi-cal dental is the first place I would go for related complaints, but if my issues aren't getting resolved and I'm receiving intimidation, discrimination, and lateral violence, then I need to take it to the next person, the next department. I think there's also the Department of Human Health and Services. That's another place. So yeah, I do not want to be doing this. I would rather be working on my resume. I would rather be doing other fun but, I need to address this because the reason why this keeps happening is because people are too busy with their family to be doing this. I don't have any kids, so luckily I can be an advocate. I have time to be an advocate. I have time to protect people and look out for people. So, please don't assume that I'm out here being a piece of shit. I'm like fighting for this guy too, blurring his name, but what the that's not cool. I don't want to keep doing this, but I have to. And I'm not going to, I can ignore it all I want, but I'm going to keep running into it. So it's important that I report it as soon as it happens and I hold on to it and I follow up on it, because if I don't, it's just going to keep getting lost. And I really need a lawyer. I really do. I did find a website that helps you find a lawyer. Like, you send them your case and lawyers in your area will read your case, and if they want to take on your case, they'll call you. So it sounds like a symbiotic platform. So that's my option right now. I haven't used the service before. I don't know if it's even going to work. I've gone through like government agencies when it comes to like discrimination, and it was very stressful, and I did encounter some pushbacks and roadblocks with that. But just because of who I am as a person, I need to have a lawyer in my life. I promise whoever the lawyer is going to help me out with my life will not be disappointed, because I experienced discrimination so often that it will be easy to win a case. I just need backup. I need legal advice. Like, I've been dealing with discrimination and assault for most of my life, and this. And if I have time, I'm going to fight back. So I guess this is kind of a public message plea. I'm looking for a lawyer. Please help me resolve this issue so that we can have a better future, because the world is falling apart, and the only way things will get better is if we take initiative to make it better. So hopefully I'll find a lawyer who can help me out, because this is just the beginning. Is it? Why did I say that? I don't know. I'm going to delete that part. All right, I'm going to go. Bye.